Hi, so it's Tanya here from Cannon & Co Sales and Lettings. Just back today with Emma, where we've produced these series of kind of short videos to explain a bit more about the mortgage process and just advice in general. So feel free to message us with anything specifically you would like us to cover. There's going to be a whole series of kind of videos. And I love listening to Emma's stories each week and kind of what she's kind of encountered. And we'll start kind of adding bits of that in as well. Last time we talked about the decision in principle, the agreement in principle, one of the first steps in getting a mortgage. This week, I thought we could talk about getting mortgage ready. So what does getting mortgage ready mean?
I think for most people, getting mortgage ready is understanding what information lenders will want, and what mortgage brokers will need. So, we need your last 3 months pay slips. We need your last 3 months bank statements, proof of ID and address, proof of deposit if you've got one. And I think with getting mortgage ready, it's also a case of bank statements are a big thing.
Yeah, and we hear about people joking, don't we, about we all transfer money to each other now. And what's one of the key things about we've discussed this a lot, but what's one of the key things about labelling on the bank statements? Come on, Emma.
I see a lot of funny references on bank statements. Even up to probably a couple of weeks ago, and yes, a lot of lenders, it's a joke and everything, but probably just be careful because it can be, if it's something that's, genuinely humorous, then great, but some lenders do ask questions, let's put it that way.
Yeah. And I remember, to be fair, actually, touching upon that, I remember I set the agency up from personal experiences, so I'm no different to anyone else. I've been there. And do you remember when we did my mortgage application for my buy-to-let, and I had a pony? I think I was paying something minimal, wasn't it? £80 a month or something, and it was Meg or something like that. And actually, the lenders questioned that, and I had to explain what that payment was each week, each month. So again, it is being mindful. Not, do you know what I mean, anything mad, but that made me realise when I did it.
And there's lots of things they ask for. It depends on the lender as well. I remember a couple of years ago, we had a client who'd been on holiday and put their dog into a dog hotel while they were away. And it came up obviously on the bank statements, and the lender asked if it was something they did regularly, because then they would take it as an outgoing, like if you had a loan payment every month. So it is stuff you need to be aware of. The biggest thing for me is bank statements, is gambling.
We touch upon this quite a lot, don't we?
Yeah, it's okay if it's, the Grand National, you do it once a year and it comes up on your bank statement, not a problem. I see lots of people with almost daily, £5 here, £10 here, Paddy Power, William Hill, etc., Ladbrokes, and that will ring alarm bells for lenders. They will, consider it to be, could you possibly have a gambling issue? And lenders will refuse to lend if they think you do have a gambling issue.
Not to kind of get away from the system, but obviously we're a lot in a digital age now, aren't we? So is it a case of probably using a bit more cash if you can do it? Okay, like not at the extent of
or stop, or just if you think you're close, you're thinking that starting to look at a mortgage, stop doing it for a few months.
Have a break,
have a break from gambling. Put that money towards your deposit. You're moving costs.
I think there's some key things that we don't think about. So just being mindful of kind of the reference on the bank statement, probably the gambling, kind of the Paddy Power sites. Is there anything else? I think we've covered quite a lot for this session.
Yeah, just one last thing I think is people get caught up on their credit score. So I see a lot of the time they've been on Clear Score or Experian or something, and they're panicking because they've only got 500-600 score, whatever. I would just say that every lender has their own credit score. They are not, while they will credit search, they have their own things that they are credit scoring on. And don't get caught up too much on your credit score. Yes, it's great if you've got a good one. you know, you'll find the experience. It's like, you know, pay for our premium and we'll tell you how to increase your score. You don't need to do that. I can tell you how to do that if needs be. The biggest thing is, if you've got credit cards, keep them at below 70% utilization. It's a big thing. Because so if you've got a £10,000 limit, don't go over 7,000, because they will class you as highly indebted, and it does drop your credit score. Make sure you're on the voters roll. It's a big thing. Don't miss any payments if you can. The biggest thing for me are mail order accounts where you haven't got it on direct debit for the minimum payment, and they end up going to, you know, 1 missed, 2 missed, defaulting, and it's for stupid little amounts, but it really affects you if you're going to get a mortgage.
No, definitely. I think we've got some top tips there. And I think definitely these are conversations I have with Emma daily. And also personally, I'm aware of, do you know what I mean? Because naturally we've all got mortgages. I'm no different to anyone else. I've had to remortgage, and actually Emma and I are going through my buy-to-let mortgage at the moment and kind of remortgaging and those types of things. So we are really no different. And I think the biggest thing is to realise that it's not scary. And honestly, I still get nervous when I'm going through this process. And I say to my husband, you know what, if you need to find out about my finances, just speak to Emma. God forbid if it happens to me, he goes straight to Emma. And I think that's key. You know, probably. And for me, my numbers and the mortgage amounts kind of all mess about. So I just literally, Emma's my go-to. But I think we've covered a lot today. And thank you for those top tips, Emma.
Pleasure. Speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.